What's up guys, Phil here with Transfer Superstars. On today's video, I'm going to be unboxing and testing out a new heat press. Now we got this from Amazon and it is budget friendly. You can get a nice heat press like this from Geonite that ranges about $1,400. But we wanted to test out some readily available heat presses that you can get from Amazon Prime that are under $200. Now this particular one, it's a VEVOR 2-in-1 heat press. It has also a hat press that's included. It's a 15 by 15. Now we chose this heat press because again, once it is budget friendly, it is only $169. It had decent reviews at 4.0 and it is rated 554 times as of this moment right now. Now this one also comes with a hat press. It is a 5.5 inch by 3 inch hat press. It has a digital control board and it heats up all the way to 430 degrees. Our transfers only need 300 degrees, so this is plenty hot for what you're needing to do. It also runs at 1500 watts and it is a standard 110 volt, so it plugs into your standard outlet. And it also has a Teflon insulated coating that helps regulate the heat, and it has a 360 degree rotating arm. And it also has, of course, a non-slip rubber grip so that it will stay intact for you to easily press. Now let's go ahead and open this so we can take a look at what we're working with. And once again, I also wanted to mention that we are not affiliated with this company. We are just testing this out to find you a good budget heat press. Oh my gosh. So one of the things that are bad about Amazon is, hey, you might find an order like this that is obviously used, but hopefully it is going to be in working condition. This is going to be the curved hat press attachment, which we're not going to use. Let's go ahead and take this down. Now there was a lot of empty areas here, so I'm hoping that none of the parts were missing. This is going to be the controller. There was an extra bolt here. That is very messy. So let's go ahead and remove the heat press. Okay, so I've also got two pieces here. I believe are going to be the handles here, but I do not see the screws. The screws are there. But it's obviously missing some nuts. So I'm still gonna test this out, try to see what we can get out of this. Just because it was packaged and returned from Amazon doesn't mean that it's not a good heat press. So let's go ahead and take this out. Oh, one of the bolts came out, so I'm just missing two. So I'm hoping that the other two are going to be somewhere available. I do not see it. Okay, but you don't really need the handle, so that's not the biggest deal breaker. I'll test this out and I'll give you guys my critique afterwards. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the controller installed. I just slip this here. There's going to be a connecting cable that plugs into the controller. The nipple is on this end, so there you go. Last but not least, let's go ahead and plug the power source. Let's go ahead and plug it in. There you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my timer. So I'm going to go ahead and see how long it takes to fire up to 300 degrees. Let's go ahead and set the temperature. It's currently at 310 preset, so I'm going to lower it to 300. Set that, and then that should be the timer. Set that. Fahrenheit. It's going to heat up. So let's let it heat up, and then we're going to go ahead and do some more testing. All right guys, so we are at 290 degrees. We preset this at 300. It has taken so far over 8 minutes to warm up. This one so far has been the longest out of the batch that we've tested. And I didn't mention earlier, but if you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe, because we do have a series of videos that we're testing out budget-friendly heat press. And we will have a big video that we're going to be testing out the best 5 heat presses, and this is also going to be amongst that. So make sure you guys tune into those videos. Now we just hit 300, 8 minutes and 42 seconds is what we got. So it did take a little bit longer than the other heat presses, but this is a 15 by 15 heat press, so you do have a nice surface here. And let's go ahead and now test out the heat. So I'm going to carefully move this. I'm going to go ahead and use our heat gun, and I'm going to go ahead and test out the different areas, the different surface areas here to see the consistency in the heat. So let me go ahead and pull this out further. So on this corner here, I am getting 203 degrees. On the back corner, I am getting 175 degrees. 217 degrees on this corner. Let's let this 175, 160, 150, 175. Now I'm gonna move this here, and then let's test the center. 175. Let's check another area. 186, 190, 200, 195. So those are the readings. It's fairly low compared to the other ones I've tested so far, but our transfers are very easy to use. This doesn't tell us exactly how hot it really is, but it gives you a general idea of the range between the heat plate. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test the pressure of this heat press. I'm going to go ahead and preset it first. Let's go ahead and give it a quick stomp just to see. The pressure feels pretty good already, but what I'm also noticing is this whole arm is moving quite extensively. You see that? The handle is easy to use. The joint is easy to use with the spring, but you can see right here the spring is lopsided. This side has a lot more pressure than this side, but it might just be the mechanics of how this heat press works. I'm gonna see if the pressure is enough for our heat presses. We're gonna do the dollar bill test. And as you can see too, as I move this to the very back, the weight was quite imbalanced. So the whole thing just kind of tipped over. That's something I don't like, not very safe, but I'm gonna keep it right there in the middle. It also doesn't have a pull-out drawer because I was trying to balance it out, but it doesn't do that. So let's go ahead and use the dollar bills. Let's test out each corner to see if at least the pressure is going to be balanced. I'm going to carefully do this side because it didn't hold very well. And then the front. Now I'm slowly going to move this over. Let's go ahead and press. Very loose on this end. Loose, loose, tight, tight. So the front is very loose compared to the back. And what you should do now at this point is to tighten it some more. So to raise it, I'm gonna go lefty loosey, or that's gonna go up, so I'm gonna go lower a little bit. I gave it about 4 turns. That's another. So So let's go ahead and test out the corners again to see if that's enough pressure. The back was definitely a lot of pressure, but the front didn't have enough, even though now it's pretty tight and it's still loose. So let's go ahead and give it some more. I'm gonna crank it down 1, 2, 3, 4 more cranks. It is loose. So let's crank it out some more. 2, 3, 4, 5. See, even with the dollar now, it is barely hovering through, barely passing. It is extremely hard to press down, and it is still loose. So this is as far as the pressure will go. And I'm not gonna be able to fit a t-shirt and transfer there comfortably if I go any further. And I really don't like that it's twisting all the way through. But I'm gonna go ahead and press anyways to show you how easy it is to press our transfers and to see if this one works. So let's go ahead and see. At this point, I'm not even able to really stick a shirt all the way through here. There's also not a lot of gap between the padding and the shirt. So let's go ahead and, before I do this, let's go ahead and measure the surface area of the pad. It is a 15 by 15, so that is accurate. The shirt I'm going to be using is a Bella Canvas 3001 CVC. The chest width is going to be 19.5 inches. Then the height I have about 23.5. 23.5, almost 24 inches. The transfer that I'm going to be using is, it's a pretty narrow design, but it is long enough. But it's going to be about 7.5 inches wide and 12 inches in height, so it will fit under this heat press. The shirt is kind of a bit wrinkled, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a pre-press. Now I'm gonna have to use my hand here, or else it's going to be lopsided. I really don't love it so far, but let's go ahead and lay it down so we can pre-press this. Very difficult to work on the shirt. So let's go ahead and glide this across. Let's go ahead and press. Let's see if there's even a timer that counts down. Well, can't even get the timer to accurately work well. And what I'm also noticing, there's a smell to this. It could probably be that something is smelling. It's not quite a burning smell, but there is some type of odor that's coming from the heat press. That is something that some cheap heat presses are known for. It could probably be this Teflon or this material here as well that is causing the smell. And since I'm having a difficult time laying the transfers on here, I'm going to go ahead and lay the shirt here first so that I can pre-measure and apply the transfer to. I'm also going to be using the finger method trick. So again, my fingers, 4 fingers is going to be roughly about 3 inches. That's what I'm going to use to help guide the transfer onto the shirt. I'm going to go ahead and try to find the midpoint of the transfer. Give it a quick crease. And then I'm going to use my fingers to lay it and center it. Okay. Then I'm going to quickly 20, so let's see. From arm to arm is about 16, so 8. It's going to be right about there. Okay, so now that it is even, I'm going to go ahead and tape the top down. I already got my 4 fingers. Let me okay, so it's about centered. Now this heat resistant tape is important for a job like this because the alignment was very difficult. It was not fun to do. Just lay it on. Because I had to tighten it so much to get the pressure down, it is very hard to stick your finger through. Now that it's even, all the creases are out. It is hovering over the transfer at this point too. Let's go into press. There's no timer, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I did hear a click, so you do hear a click. It's just that it doesn't really count down. Okay, let's go ahead and let it cool a little bit before we peel. All right, let's go ahead and peel. There you go. Let's go ahead and take out this tape. Keep in mind, I am still using my hand to hold this down because it will wobble. So that is my #1 thing that I'm really disliking about this so far. But we're making it work. It's all about making it work. So let's go ahead and put this back, press for another 7 seconds. You hear it click. So I'm not gonna count down, but you should hear, let's see. Well, maybe that's just the heat. That might just be the heat. I'm not able to get the timer working, and it is hard to release after it hits a certain section of that press. So let's go ahead and take it off now so we can check our transfer out. So I'm gonna slowly move this back. What I'm checking for again is the edges. So we're checking to make sure that the edges are good. There's a lot of fine little details here, but it is on the shirt. And I do see the lines on the transfer, so there is enough pressure to get this done. Let's go ahead and do a quick stretch test. Yeah, so far so good. I'm glad that our transfers are easy enough that, hey, even this heat press works. So guys, my thoughts on this heat press: do not buy this. Save your money. It is only $170, but do not buy this heat press. Not only is it inefficient to use, mostly it is dangerous. It can cause a fire if it tips over. I was very close to burning my hands because the platen is so close to the t-shirt. It really had a difficult time allowing me to also align this. And the pressure was just not very good at all. And overall, those are my thoughts on this heat press. Make sure you guys watch the other videos. I'm going to be comparing the rest of all these heat presses so you guys can find the best value for your buck. But like I said, do not get this heat press. Save your money. Hope you guys found value in this. Hope you guys don't have to make the same mistake again. But I hope you guys found this helpful. Catch you guys on that next one.